Okay, now we're going to talk about how to multiply and divide radical expressions, okay? And I got to talk to you about a special property before we go into this, and this is pretty much what the property is stating. If you have the square root of a times b, well, you can break that apart, and you can have that to be square root of a times the square root of b. I kind of did that in the last problem. The same goes for dividing. If you have the square root of a divided by b, you can break that into parts, and you can have separately square root of a divided by the quantity square root of b. Okay, we're going to use that to help us multiply and divide radical expressions. But I got one more thing to show you right down here. It's on the left side. There's different forms of how you can have a radical expression as radical form and something called exponential form. This right here, this 2 to the 4/5, that's exponential form. Okay, 2 to the 4/5 is the same thing as the square root or the fifth root of 2 to the 4th. Okay, so that's how you can change this between different things to the radical form. And we're going to have to use that up here to solve this first multiplication problem. Notice we have 27 ab to the third to the 1/3 times the third root of 5a to the 4th b. Well, this 1/3 and this third root are same things, so we can right away rewrite this as the third root of 27ab to the third times the third root of 5a to the 4th b. Okay? Okay, now that we're at this point right now, we can apply this property up here. Since the radicals have the same indexes, we can combine them together. So let's do that. We have one big third root. I got this 27 here. I'm going to put that there. Got that 5, so I'm going to times it by 5. I got this a and this a to the 4th. That's a to the 5th. And this b to the 3rd and b is b to the 4th. Okay? So now they're all under 1. Now we need to find the cubed root of these things. Well, I know that the cubed root of this 27 is just 3, so I'm going to take that 3 out. And I dealt with that. Can I find the cubed root of 5? Nope, I cannot. So I'm going to put that under the radical again. What's the cubed root of a to the 5th? Well, I can pull a group of 3 a's out and make them 1, but then I'm left with 2 on the inside, so I got a squared left on the inside. And the cubed root of b to the 4th, well, I can pull 3 b's out and make them 1, so ab on the outside, 3ab, but then I'm left with 1b on the inside. So my final simplified form of this would be 3ab times the square root of, sorry, not square root, is it? Cubed root of 5a to the 2nd b. Okay? So that's how you do a multiplication one. Let's do a division one. Looking over here, we got two division problems. One division problem. I got 8 times the 54x to the 5th to the 1/2 power. And I have 4 square root of 3x to the 3rd. Well, this 1/2 and the square root are identical things, so let's get them to be identical. Okay? So I really have 8 times the square root of 54x to the 5th over 4 square root of 3x to the 3rd. Well, if we go back up to this property right here, it says you can bring these two radicals together. So let's do it. So what we have is 8 over 4. Oh, let's just simplify that. This 8 over 4. What's 8 divided by 4? It's just 2. So we'll just put a 2 here. And then this radical, we're going to make one radical. And we're going to do 54x to the 5th over 3x to the 3rd. Okay? Now let's start canceling some things. We got x to the 3rd and x to the 5th. That leaves us with what? That leaves us with our x squared. So I got my radical. I got my x squared on top. And this 3 and 54, is 54 divisible by 3? Well, you bet it is, because 5 plus 4 is 9. And 9 is divisible by 3. So what is 54 divided by 3? We got 10 for 30. And then we got another 8, so it's 18. I believe it's 18. So this is 18 x squared because of this 54 and this 3. Now we got to take the square root of that. Well, I know I still have my 2 on the outside, right? That's from here. I know the square root of x squared is just x, so we just got to figure out what the square root of 8 is. Well, sadly, square root of 18. Well, that's not as easy to figure out. But we do know that 18 is 9 times 2, and we know the square root of 9 is 3. So we have 2 times 3 times x, square root of 2, which is 6x square root of 2. And that is the final solution of this once simplified.